Hi there everyone, this is Andy at Audi Upgrades and Remote Starts UK. Hope everyone is well. Behind me is a 2014 Audi A4 Avant diesel and one of a slightly older vehicle that I compared to ones that I've worked on previously, and we fitted a remote start system including the optional long range remotes and the optional Bluetooth app to this vehicle, and I just kind of wanted to give you a demonstration of it working very quickly, but at least you can see the different permutations of how the remote start can be activated and deactivated. So you've got three choices ultimately. You can start the vehicle with the OEM key. You can start the vehicle with optional long range remotes, and if you've got a phone, which I'm sure you all have, you can start the vehicle with your phone. It's important to point out the phone is not GSM. The app does not work over the internet, so you can't start your car from another country. It connects via Bluetooth. It either connects via Bluetooth directly to the vehicle if you're close enough. So say you're within 25, 30 feet of the vehicle, general Bluetooth distance, the phone can connect directly to the vehicle, the antenna that we've installed in the vehicle, and start the engine. If you're not that close to the vehicle, the app can actually connect to an optional remote, and this remote's got Bluetooth in it, and the phone can connect to the remote, and then the remote has about a half a mile range, probably a little bit longer. So the remote effectively acts as like a relay to the vehicle when you're not really close to the vehicle. So it's important to point out that the app does not yet work over the internet. So I'm going to lock the car. So the car's locked, just standard lock button on the OEM remote. And to start this vehicle, we use the lock, unlock, lock key combination on the remote. So I'm just going to do that for you now. So lock, unlock, lock, lock, unlock, lock. Helps if I press the buttons right. And the car's started. So the car's still locked, obviously. Car will remain locked and run for 15 minutes, and then shut itself down when it's finished. And then if you want to turn the car off with the OEM remote, lock, unlock, lock, and the car will turn off. And it will relock the doors just in case they were unlocked. Secondly, as I say, you've got the optional long range remote here. This is a 5-button remote, and to start the vehicle, well, first of all, this long range remote will work again from about half a mile away. You can't start the car you can only start the car via remote start with this key fob, because obviously it's not an Audi key. It doesn't fit into the key port that some of the older vehicles have, the little key port on the dash next to your steering wheel where you insert the key and you push it in to start the vehicle. This obviously doesn't have anything to do with that. But you can remote start the vehicle. So it's just 2 button presses, and this is a 2-way remote, so it will feed back as well. So if I go 1, 2, I'll hold it up to my microphone. You can hear that little command. And the car starts. And then if I hold this up to the remote, up to my microphone, should I say, you should have heard those 4 beeps. The 4 beeps are just feeding back that the engine started. So because the long range remotes can work for half a mile away, if you had started the car and you couldn't physically see it because you were indoors or whatever, this will feed back. And then while the engine's running, you'll notice on the remote, hopefully you can see this, if I just hold it a bit closer, notice on the remote the little blue light flashes. So this little blue light will constantly flash as a little visual indication that the engine's running. So you can just, even though you can't hear the cars running because you're indoors, you can just look at your key fob and see that the blue light's flashing and go, oh, so I know the engine's running because the blue light's flashing. And then if you double press the same button again, the engine shuts down. If I hold it up to the microphone, not sure if you heard that, but you heard that there's a little shutdown sequence on the remote as well, so you can hear that the engine's turned off, or sorry, and see that the engine's turned off. And the little blue light here has stopped flashing to confirm that the car's engine has shut down. Finally, the application. So I'm just going to unlock this iPhone 11. Bear with me a second. Right, so here is the application. Just try and hold this up to the camera so you can see, like this. And you can see here, this little button here, if I press this, it gives me a choice whether I want to connect to the car directly if I'm close enough, or connect optionally to the remote that I was just telling you about, this remote. So I'm currently connected directly to the car. So I can hit the key icon here. And you can see that the car flashed. And the car started. And you can even hear on the two-way remote that I was just using, it actually fed back that the car started, and even the two-way remote, the little blue light flashes, even though I've started the car with the app. And then to stop the car, it's just this one here with the kind of cross on it. Hopefully you can see that. And if I just tap that, car shuts down and relocks, little notification warning that the engine's running, and then the car has locked itself. Yeah, that's kind of how the app kind of works in a nutshell. You've got the lock and unlock here. Do that to unlock the doors, and you can press the lock button to lock the doors. These two buttons though will deactivate after about a minute using the app. So when you press them, nothing will happen. This is so you don't accidentally unlock the doors while you're a long way from the vehicle by accidentally hitting these two options on your app on your phone accidentally while you don't intend to. And the same for this long range remote as well. The lock and unlock buttons, if I press one, you can hear the doors unlock, and the top one lock. Press the top one, you hear the doors locking. Those buttons will also deactivate after about a minute and won't do anything, but the remote start button will always work. And as soon as the engine has been remote started, those buttons will then wake up back into life, and you can then use them to unlock and lock the car. So because the remote start function is 2 presses, 1, 2, it's very unlikely you're going to do that with the keys in your pocket when you didn't mean to. But 1 press on the buttons, you might, if your keys were leaning on each other, you may accidentally press those. So by deactivating those buttons, we're protecting the car from being accidentally locked or unlocked. And finally, boot release. So if I hold the engine button down for 5 seconds, it has 2 options, and let go, hopefully you'll see the boot open up. So you can also open the boot. And the same again, if I hold the button down for 5 seconds, you'll hear a little beep, and let go, the boot will shut itself. So this is a feature we enable on the remote start system, so you can control the trunk remotely. So for example, if your car can't do that, or can only some of the cars can only open the boot, but you have to be standing kind of right next to the car to be able to close the boot with your OEM key fob. This will allow you to do it from up to half a mile away.